Go live. Oh, wait, there it is. Hey! And
Hey!
we're live with nobody watching. This is a new one. I actually don't think I've seen this happen.
I feel like a radio host.
I'm wondering. Maybe I did get squashed a bit by the algorithm. Maybe.
Like cross channel. That's crazy.
Oh, YouTube's known to do that kind of stuff, man. Oh, we got 2 viewers. Oh, we got somebody else in the door. How's she going, everyone, or whoever's here? We're just going to let a few more people pile in. For the moment, we're just going to listen to Dylan chew. That's going to be the
chewy.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you eating, man? Doc
Oh, it was literally a cracker. I had a plate of crackers.
Wow. Living the high life, eh?
Yeah, mid-afternoon snack.
Doc says, "What's good? What's good, brother?"
What up?
I'm test running the Spark. I'm gonna actually put the roll off on for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say while we're waiting, we might as well just talk about, I guess, what we did this week. What did you do this week, Aiden?
You know what? This past 2 weeks have been rough. Oh, shrimp's in. You what? What did I say? What did I do? What did I do? What did I say?
I think he's talking about the plate of crackers.
Oh, plate of crackers. Richard,
Probably.
how's she going? I don't know what Shrimp's referring to. He's shocked though.
You what?
Yeah, my week has been brutal. It's just been brutal. Oh, he's talking about the title of the video. Yeah,
Oh.
This is gonna be a good one. I'll tell the story. I think Bandrew might be a little upset with me still, which is fine. I felt super bad. Like there's nothing I can do to change what I did. And I feel like crap. I feel like
You want to walk us through it?
I screwed up. What do we got? We got 4 people, and give it a few more. So how dare you? I didn't mean to. Well, technically, there's a lot behind this story. Anyways, my week. So last week, ridiculously busy. I just could not get my head out of my ass. And then on Wednesday or Thursday, I got dropped on my lap the podcast for Minds of Madness. It's a Patreon episode, and he had some issues. The host of Minds of Madness, he had some issues, and he's like, "Dude, I need you to could you just get this up to do Monday." So I had this podcast to edit, and I was like, "Ah!" And by Friday, I was just I couldn't do anything. I was so busy. So I was just like, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. Shit's come up. My family was like I hadn't seen my family all week. Because I'd just been working. So that's why last Friday's kind of went by the wayside. Things are a little bit better. Today, I actually went to a spa. I spent the whole day at a spa just outside of where I live. Spent about 6 hours there sitting in hot water, basically, and going back and forth and stuff. It was fantastic. Salute, gentlemen of the panel. Hope all is well. Sneed, how's it going, buddy? Wrench in the house. We got 8 people. All right, so I'm going to tell the story here. Since this is the title of the video, and y'all are here, and you're all, like, obviously dropping a like on the video. Peace to the good people of the live chat. Oh, look at you. Sneed's like a gentleman today. So I last week, was brutal. I didn't have time to do much. And one of the things that's kind of been going by the wayside is being able to get content up for this channel, because there's nothing really coming out. It's a very dry time for a lot of products right now. There's not a lot of new products hitting the shelves. And I had ordered this Spark, the blue Spark. And I had intended to do the review for last Monday. And I was getting ready to do it, and the mic just didn't show up on time, and I was screwed. It was Saturday afternoon. Mike wasn't going to show up until Monday morning, so I'm like, oh, fuck. And I had the Samson CO2s. Yeah, Spark's here too. I like this mic, by the way, except for the plosives.
Oh, fuck.
So I'd had the CO2 sitting on my monitor. If you've been watching videos for the past several months, since October, September, maybe even August, I've had the CO2 sitting up on my monitor to the left of my monitor. And I was like, oh shit, I got to get a video. And I was thinking, what could I do? And I look at the CO2s. I'm like, yes, I'm just going to do up a quick video on the CO2s. It was not an easy video, but it was like, yeah, you just throw the video together, do it, and you're good to go. However, last week, Bandrew put out, or I think it was last week or the week before, Bandrew put out his members only podcast or episode video. And I had sat down to watch it. And lo and behold, during that video, and I'd completely forgotten about this, Bandrew had gotten the Samson CO2 years ago, like 2015. And everyone's like, can you review the Samson CO2? And he's like, you know what? I will review them when they become a vintage product. And as of January 18th, I think this year, they're now a vintage product. So he was planning this big reveal of this vintage product that only his members knew. Only the members of his channel knew that he was planning this. And I was one of those. And I put my video out on Monday and his was planned for Tuesday. What the dickest move ever. Had I intended to do that, that would be like, and I felt he ended up commenting on the video like, what the fuck? How is that possible? That this 20-year-old tech, this 20-year-old microphone, they come as a pair, by the way.
Yeah.
How did you and I decide to do this on the same week? And then I remembered and I felt horrible because I remembered the live or the video from his members only. And I'm like, oh, dude, I even knew that. I'm so sorry. I felt like trash. But nothing I could do. The video was already out. Bandrew's video, I believe, it's Bandrew's video. It's going to be doing well. I do kind of feel bad that I stepped on toes there, though. It's almost like we need like our Discord for all YouTube audio people to see what we're doing that week. Like that would be a good idea. Put all of the creatives, YouTube creatives that are in the audio sphere onto a Discord. And we can, okay, this is what I'm working on this week, just so you know. And like there's going to be weeks where like there's no chance Bandrew's going to be doing the same thing as me. But then there's weeks like this where it's like, oh, it's a pretty good opportunity. Anyways, I felt bad. I still kind of do. If Bandrew's watching, sorry, brother. I actually had I had an idea, but because I was so busy, it just didn't even occur to me. I saw the mics and I just went with it. And yeah, shit.
It happens.
Clint, hi guys, watching you from the Gold Coast, Australia. Hope you're both well. Jesus, what time is it in Australia, Clint? That must be like, it's got to be 2 or 3 in the morning. No? Yeah, Google that. What time is it in Gold Coast, Australia? Aussie Land, who my bandmate is from Australia.
What time is it in Gold Coast, Australia? It's like 8 in the morning, apparently.
It's 8 a.m. All right. Well, hopefully you're having a great Saturday there, Clint. Still Friday here. Not a huge deal. I'm sure he's not actually upset. QLD, 8:20 a.m. Wow. We're a morning show right now, Dylan. We're a weekend morning show for somebody.
Been a while.
Yeah, you know what? And Shrimp says he's probably not that upset. I think and he's got every right to be a little irritated. I'm not going to lie. Like, Bandrew has every right to be a little irritated. It looked horrible. And it was ignorance and kind of, just a passing thought when I should have like, oh, what am I doing? So I do actually have a funny video coming that I could have done. I should have done that instead. And had I actually taken a step back and went, you know what? I'm just going to let this rest for a little bit. And I'll let Bandrew get his video out because there was no rush. I was holding on to those CO2s forever because I just didn't want to do the video on them. They're really kind of crappy. Like they're okay. For $99, they're great. But as soon as you put them up against the AKG P170 or even as I showed in that video, the Behringer XM8500, they weren't great. Like the Behringer XM8500 as a stereo pair sounded just as good, just not quite as articulate. Like that was the only difference between the two but then, I mean, you can just ramp up the EQ and get some of that articulation back. With the Behringers, I think for the price, for the target audience, I think the Samson CO2s are a horrible buy. Like you're spending $100 on 2 microphones that, what are you going to, like a month, 2 months later, and you've already outgrown them? It just doesn't seem like a smart idea. Sneed, it's definitely tomorrow. LOL. My 58 got a new love dent on her. I need to buy a new grill. Shrimp, get another 58, man. If you're gonna buy a new grill,
I just get the grill. I've seen guys replace them, or like if you can get a deal, some like wholesalers will do like you get 30 grills for like,
Ooh.
and then you just got a bag of grills that you can replace. I don't know.
What's that in your front pocket? Or you just have it? No, it's all my 58 grills.
It's all my grills. But yeah, it's like some places will just shit like that, like they do with connectors. So if you can get a deal like that, and that only makes sense though if you're running like, I don't know, a theater or something where you've got like 100 of them that you need to constantly have grills replaced on. But like
he says, I could use a bag
person,
of grills.
Bag of grills.
Well, I mean, also stop chewing on the microphone, Shrimp. Like,
I know you need your iron, but
yeah, I know, and it does look tasty. I get it. But, Red Cabin, how's she going, brother? No, peace all. Oh, what's with the peace today? Is there something going on in the world that I need to know about?
Yeah. Nukes on the way right now.
Everybody keeps saying peace. That makes me nervous. I live in the capital of Canada, man.
It's funny. Peace makes us think chaos.
Yeah, it
so
really
just say
does.
chaos instead. Then we'd feel peaceful.
Chaos, friends. Chaos. Plus I got it from banging it on my skull. The chewing just flayed the metal. My teeth hurt thinking about my head hurts thinking about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
like
so so in case you missed it earlier, my past couple weeks have been super busy. I took the day and I actually went to a spa with my wife. It was our 14th anniversary. Well, it's our 14th anniversary of us meeting. We met January 16th, 2009. And we kind of honor that anniversary more than we do our wedding anniversary, just because it's kind of fun in the middle of January. We're trying to find things to do, and it's this outdoor spa. It's kind of like a Spa Nordique, but it's in Elmer. So it's actually the other, and it's cheaper, but it's also just as good. It's outside. It's just not as much trees. But
Nordic Spa is that's wild. That's like a whole campus, that place.
Well, so is this place. It's it's kind of attached to a Marriott. Just you know where the golf course is in Elmer?
Yeah,
it's right there. It's and it's really nice. More young people. The Spa Nordique ends up having like a bunch of old people because it's more expensive. It's a little more foo-foo. Yeah. And I'm not exactly foo-foo. It was delightful though. Like did the whole like salt scrub on the skin. It was nice. Went for a massage, which I needed desperately. So yeah, all in all, it was a really good day, a really relaxing day, and I feel like I'm a little more centered. I feel like I'm a little more okay. Huh? Is that a blue mic? Love my Bluebird, old one. Red Cabin, yeah, this is the Blue Spark. I finally bought the Blue Spark. Eat the mic, not the windscreen. Am I popping, Liberty? Am I popping? Sorry, I'm trying to keep it off. This thing is pop sensitive, which is actually one of my complaints about this microphone is the fact that a lot of these lesser priced microphones come with these boxes. They come with some sort of carrying case for the microphone. And this is what pisses me off. And this is actually in the video. So sneak peek is the company will sell you I believe this thing's $199 and you get a wooden box with it for the microphone. How many people who are in the market for a $199 microphone are actually putting it back in the box and up on their shelf? If you're in the market for a $199 microphone, it's staying on your boom arm until the end of time, until it's dead. I don't know, like all you're doing is dropping stupid money into a product that just raises the price. I don't get it. Like Rode is a great example. They give you the mic, they give you a shock mount, they give you a windscreen, and that's it. You have a little baggie to put the mic in when you're done. If you do take the mic off, that's all you need, man. You don't need any of this other crap to, like Austrian Audio did the same thing. And it's like, why don't you put a pop filter in there? Like even something cheap just to, anyways. No pops. No popping. Good. I'm trying to,
I even like the V13 that I gave you. Like I like that one because it came with that. They came with a box, and it came with like a sock to protect to like keep dust off it. I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah.
I've gotten a number of those briefcase style mics. I've probably had 10, 15 of those over the years, and
Yeah, but
yeah, that was the first time
that's
I'd
a
ever seen.
$1,200 microphone. Anyways, 1 second.
Yeah,
My dogs are going nuts upstairs. I don't know if you can hear them.
yeah, not really.
Shut up.
A little bit
What's going on?
here and there. You get up into the $1,000+ range. You kind of expect certain things to come with it, to come with a microphone. Like if I spent $1,000 on a mic and it didn't at the very least come in some kind of a box, I'd be like, what kind of company am I dealing with here? Yep, he's just going and yelling at the dogs. No idea what's going on. Somebody must be at the door or something like that. That's crazy. I think that happens though. The situation with Bandrew, that happens in the community. People, sometimes people fly in the same lane. It's kind of like when two artists in the same genre that are tight and in the same city like put out an album on the same Friday, and it's like, whoops. A little bit of bad blood for a hot second, and then most of the time you just move on. It is what it is. I know some people that don't move on, obviously. Vague background yelling at dogs, yeah. Vague background yelling. I think everything would just be immediately funner with just a little track of that underneath. Just somebody yelling at dogs. Trying to finish a VO for a company in the Netherlands. That's one thing I've always been curious about is editing audio for other languages. I've done a little bit of it. I had to make some Portuguese spots a while back, and I've had to, obviously, living in Ottawa, I do a fair amount of French, sort of bilingual content. And it's interesting because I'm editing it purely based on the sound and what I know of like the pronunciation of the language. Because like I don't know fluidly like half of these words how they're supposed to come out. And a few times I've had to offload that to somebody else and be like, I don't even know what that word's supposed to be. Okay. But yeah, something like from other countries, I wouldn't even know. How would you edit like a Mandarin VO? Like that's a whole,
Dear
the way
God.
that language works. Oh, are you back?
Yeah, sorry.
All good.
What a shit show. My child's having a sleepover. My wife went to go pick up said children for sleepover, and one of the kids showed up. So I've got a child in the house that is not mine. I'm just going to message my wife while we're here and just say, child is here.
That's funny.
Anyways, yeah, okay. So we got, sorry. Is he just yelling in the background? Yes, Shrimp. Yes, I was. I was just yelling at the dogs in the background.
Yeah. And then we're talking about how I think everything would be immediately funnier. Just insert a track of that underneath, like whatever thing you're doing.
Well, the dogs just go nuts, and the mom was wondering why nobody was home, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing a live stream on YouTube. She's like, I'm so sorry. It's all good, all good. Kid can come in. Sometimes things overlap. Vent and move on. Not sure. Yeah. So
we're talking about the Bandrew thing. Like releasing the same stuff in the same day, and like just how stuff like that overlaps. It happens.
It does. And but the problem is I was one of the ones on the member the member video that saw, and I was like, I'm still going to do. Anyways, just a brain fart in general. So
you missed a good number of comments while you were dealing with that. Actually,
I know. I'm looking through. Back. How old is said child? Do you need to supervise? No, they're 10 or 11. So they're fine. The dogs will babysit them. All good there. I'm like, are you okay if I go finish my live stream? And hopefully, my wife was planning on going to the store after she picked up the kids. So let's hope she doesn't go to the store after picking up the kids. So you're talking about doing a VO in a different language, like editing a VO?
Yeah. We were talking, and I was talking about how like I've always been curious about it because like I've done a few weird, like I had to edit one Spanish thing one time, some Portuguese things, and then a lot of French stuff. Obviously, being in Ottawa, I
Yeah.
get mostly English, but there's French stuff that comes through. And it's I don't know, it's interesting because I'm purely going by what I know of how that language is supposed to sound. And there's some languages that quite honestly I don't know
Yep.
how they're supposed to sound. Like how do you edit a Mandarin VO? Like
You don't. Well, you don't, right?
no,
Like,
like no, that there's some languages that are like I don't know, similar to English that is like if being in Ottawa, I've heard a lot of people speak French. So if
well,
something doesn't sound right, I know to flag it and run it by
as
somebody.
long as
But
it follows the same alphabet. Like you get into
yeah.
even some of the European, like Hungarian, where it's not the same alphabet. It's got, I think, 46 letters to it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you can't even follow the script to know where it's supposed, because the word that doesn't phonetically sound like it should, right?
No,
So,
no.
and like at least you can get by in phonetics with Spanish and like French and stuff like that, but not with other stuff, especially Mandarin and stuff like that. That would just
No,
mess me
those
up.
like those tonal languages, like holy shit! Like I don't know if that's the right version or the wrong version of that word.
No. It's funny too because I was planning on like really launching and getting my voiceover career going the past like 3 months that have been ridiculous, and I think I've given up on it now because I've picked up a couple really cool gigs editing podcasts. Like one, I can't actually say what the name of the podcast is. However, when you look at Chartable, so out of the 750 million podcasts that are in the world right now, the one that I'm talking with, they're number 104th.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just blind dumb luck. Just blind dumb luck that and I'm actually kind of hoping. I'm like, yes, I can work for you. Don't care if it takes forever. I will. And you know what? If there's any podcast editors in the group here watching this video, do yourself a favor and go all the way when you're editing a podcast, especially for a big podcast. This guy, through a friend of a friend, was telling him that the reason he's still editing his podcast, even though he's ranked 104th in the world in podcasts, the reason he still fires and has not settled on one editor is because people still leave ums in. So, like, someone will just edit their podcast, take out the false starts, and be like, "Yeah, we're done." But they're not taking out the clicks. They're not like the guy I'm working with Minds of Madness. His last editor didn't take out his mouse clicks. If you're working for a massive podcast that you're getting paid, like the money's quite good,
Yeah.
take the mouse clicks out. Just take the mouse
Well,
clicks
yeah.
out.
I mean, like I would assume like I don't know. I am really annoyingly adamant about clean audio.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're editing a VO, if it's not a word and if it's not a breath there for dramatic impact, cut it out and
Yep.
put a fade. Like fuck, I hate when I open a session and I see audio regions without fades on the ends of it. I'm like, oh, fuck, it drives me insane.
Uh, I'm not.
Um,
I see. Like I leave a good portion of my breath control in. I take out the initial breath before the start of a sentence because what I like to do, I've
mhm.
found, is I smack my lips and I breathe in. So it's like, and that in itself is like, oh my god, why do I have to sound like a hippo when I'm talking? So I remove
Yeah.
that, but a lot of the mid-sentence breaths, I don't bother. Like they're not egregious. If they're egregious, I'll take them out. But if it's
Well, it
just me,
depends too. For imaging, no, no, absolutely not.
no,
No.
no, imaging is different. Yeah,
Yeah, but for like long form content or for like an audiobook, the breaths serve like a pulse setting
it's a
purpose. So
pace.
they're
Yeah,
actually yeah, and it makes the content more relatable because regular people breathe. It's really weird to hear somebody talking and not breathing.
it's
Um,
but it also like it trains your brain to follow the pace of the person. I can have a quicker pace or I can have a slower pace. Like I just shot a video for my second channel that I have a much quicker pace to it because you're getting through a lot of information and you don't want to be like trudging through that a minute and a half into the intro. You kind of want to get that shit out and you want to get it done
yeah.
with. But for the most part, I mean, I don't like if I've got a natural sing-songy pace when I'm telling stories, so I don't want to break that up. I don't need to be
No,
one word into the next.
no, and that's it. It like it depends what the voicing is for. There's lots of long form content and sort of more storytelly content. But if you're cutting up VO for some surgical purpose, um, or some very sanitary purpose like imaging, for example,
Yeah.
then you're not gonna have breaths. Or even like having editing VO as the intro to a podcast. Like you don't want breaths in that.
No, no, no.
Um,
No, but
so
conversational, you do. It's
yes.
fascinating too because I've learned how to take a breath and actually speak during a breath. And I've done
Mhm.
that where I'm trying to edit a fucking breath out and I'm like, "Oh my god, it sounds
It's part of
stupid."
my words.
It's
Yeah,
same thing with ums where there's a lot of people that have learned how to say match or
oh
yeah. Oh, so frustrating.
yeah, and they you blend shit, or just people that slur words together in general, like drive me nuts. I mean, at least so the thing with me is like I can edit your VO no problem if you give me clean sibilants. If you give me clean sibilants and clean plosives, or like
Yeah.
definitive. I can deal with that. You can be as slurry as you fucking want. Just give me some fucking sibilants because I'm gonna do all my edits on those fucking
The
sibilants. You
S's,
could be
yeah.
drunk off your ass, and as long as you can say the letter S or the letter or the letters SH, we're good. I can deal with you.
Yeah, yeah. No, I get that. Shrimp says had a song of his reviewed by a Russian producing YouTuber recently on a
Whoa,
live stream, and I didn't understand anything, but they seem to enjoy it.
that's interesting. I
Fingers
I did
crossed.
I had that happen one time where like a website did a review of a release that I did, and it was like a I don't know an out of body experience almost. Like that's what kind of what it felt like. I was like, this is weird. I didn't ask them to do this. Somebody just decided to. Okay.
Oh,
Um.
oh! I do have a couple extra things. There's one thing that was brought up, and I said, "Come to the live stream and ask Dylan." TechMed, cheers,
Oh.
brother. Thanks for the beer. It was about miking a specific instrument. I'm trying to remember if it was on our Discord.
I think I feel like I remember this
I can't.
recently.
Yeah, it was a recent one. So I'm gonna if
Like
it.
and I think there was yeah, I think it was in the comments on YouTube, or at least I thought it was on
Yeah,
some video because I remember I think I engaged a couple other of the regulars here engaged because I basically said like use a 57.
yeah,
If you want to know what you should use for something and you've never mic'd it before, 57 Swiss Army knife gonna sound at least okay on pretty much everything.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, so that one probably taken care of. That's what we can learn out of that. So probably the other one, and this is fascinating. Dylan, are you providing any voice training for up and coming VO artists?
I
Like
can.
coaching?
I can. It's interesting. There was actually somebody brought an Algonquin student to me today
Oh, really?
on this exact thing. Yeah.
No, this is like a mid-50s guy.
Yeah.
He's in his mid-50s, and I wasn't gonna lie to him. You're gonna pay for it. Like I was like, you're
Yeah.
gonna pay. Now the story behind this guy, CheckMed. Once again, cheers, brother. Beer will be bought with that money. Um, the guy tracked me down in Canadian Tire while I was getting some snow tires on, and he ran up to me. He's like, "Are you Aiden Wolf?" I'm like, who wants to know? He's like, "Dude, I love your channel." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Wow, that's really weird. Thanks, man." And he gives me his card. He shakes my hand. I told him to show up on the Friday live stream because that's one of the questions. He's like, "Do you do voice? Can you coach?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. I don't have time. Like, I don't have time. Like the amount of money I'll charge you just for my time isn't worth it. And I don't want to like lead you on. I don't need money. Sorry, man. And that's why I'd be doing it. But I'm like, Dylan, Dylan? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, he probably does coaching, so show up on the live stream.
So I was gonna say, if he knows me, he's probably been on the live streams because, I've only ever been in like two of the videos that you've done. So
Yeah, yeah.
chances are, if somebody's seen me, they've been to the lives.
Well, this
before.
guy's like a P1. He's
Nice.
definitely a P1. So I'm guessing he's seen both videos as well as.
I wonder if
the
it's
live
somebody
stream.
who's like display name I'd recognize.
See, I don't have his business card. I misplaced it. It might be.
Oh,
I don't even think it's down here. That's disappointing. It's probably in a code or something. I was looking at it the other day. But yeah, like he's getting into voice acting or voice over. I don't know voice acting or not, but he's doing some books and stuff like that, and he wanted a little bit of feedback. I'm like, yeah, I think you're gonna pay for it though.
Yeah.
Like that's coaching is an expensive thing to get. Like coaching is not cheap because it's so time intensive.
Yep.
Hey there, pedalheads and tone chasers and fellow audio miscreants. Hope you're all well. How's it going, Gear Junkie?
What's up?
Liberty Dude, when you're reading script content, especially when written to cadence of the specific talent, the breaths can be placed to be removed or reduce impact easier. Actually, that's interesting you bring that up, Liberty. So the podcast I edit for, he pre-edits all of his breaths out, but he doesn't actually pre-edit the breaths out. What he does is he paces his read, so when he needs to take a big breath, he steps back, breathes, moves in and continues, which leads to a longer period of edit for me because I have to pace him then. So I have to pace his content for him, which is fine as long as I know the pace he wants, which has been one of the largest learning curves because I pace differently than Dylan. Dylan paces different than me and everyone else. But yeah, there's a lot of ways you can do it where you can actually pull off mic, and if you've got a slight gate, it will gate out your breath. And then you just edit in your own pacing, or you get.
I mean, honestly, like I'm at the point now, having edited, like days and days worth of audio content in my life, that like I know what a breath looks like. I could be talking to somebody on the phone and editing breaths out. Like it's just such a for me now. I know exactly what the signature looks like for a breath, versus a word. Very rarely will I accidentally slice something off because it's something else.
Yeah,
and like
breaths are so easy. Same with
But and there's lots of times where, especially if I won't delete them, but what I will often do, especially if it's more aggressive conversational content or more normal, like indoor speaking voice kind of stuff, I'll reduce the volume of the breaths together because I want them to be there, but I don't want the compressor to grab them with the rest of my shit and just ramp them like.
That's what, because I'm a very breathy person. So when I breathe in, it's like, because I'm also a bigger guy, and bigger guys have bigger breaths. We're expanding more, right? So
yeah, and it's a bit time intensive because it's a lot easier to delete the breaths than it is to go and adjust the volume of them manually. Sometimes I've had to do that with sibilants, especially for like song vocals, is go out and slice every sibilant and adjust it.
Yeah.
Like one at a time, which is like fucking so laborious. You have no idea. But there's tools like I have Revoice Pro, Revoice Pro 4, which automatically highlights all the breaths and it just makes a volume fader for you. You can just drag them up or down. And kind of
how much was that? Revoice Pro.
Revoice Pro is like $800.
Oh, I kind of want it now.
But it does a lot of shit other than that. Like it's a pitch corrector, it's a time corrector. So if you want to adjust the cadence of your syllables, you can like drag them around, and it's basically like it does the same shit that Melodyne does, including stuff like automated performance transfer and shit, which is just like.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Like it's a good tool. I don't know if you've ever heard of Revoice Pro. It's made by Synchro Arts. There's the lesser product in the lineup that is the one that everybody talks about. I forget what it's called. I think it's called like Vocaline, maybe. It rings a bell, but everyone talks about that. And I was looking at them, and Revoice Pro just had so much good shit in it. I'm like, fuck it.
All right, that's going on my Christmas list this year. Shrimp says, "What if it was me?" But it's not. But what if? Shrimp, buddy, I'd still shake your hand. I'm not adverse to meeting people from the channel as long as it's not outside my house.
Yeah.
And the weird thing, and this is the problem I have with people seeing me in public, I've gotten actual death threats on this channel.
Whoa.
Because I didn't like Behringer, or I don't like this, or I spoke out against this, or I disagreed with your mic purchase. Death threats, guys. Like, I haven't gotten a lot, but 2 is enough. And like some of it is pretty intense. So when you have that in the back of your head and somebody's running up behind you going, "Are you Aiden Wolf?" it does kind of throw you off a little bit. However, in the future, like I do plan on going to events like NAM and being a part of NAM and just walking around and like soaking that up, maybe do some live streams from NAM. So I like if I'm out at one of those events and you guys want to come down, sure. I don't know when I wanted to go this year. I don't even know when NAM's happening this year because just the end of my year was garbage. But I do think like probably next year I'm going to be going to NAM and just kind of that'll be one of my getaways for the year, and it'll just be
nice. We should road trip it up.
Yeah, I'd definitely be. I think it's in like Seattle or something, isn't it? That's that's a bit of a road trip. Maybe a train. I don't know if I want to drive it.
Well, I was gonna say if you are driving it, bring me along. I'll pitch in for gas and shit, and we can
all right,
maybe shoot some content while we're down there or something.
All right, no, I can do that. I think I could be in for that. Oh, Audio for Dummies. That's a weird name. I'm kidding. It's a fine name. You liking the Blue Spark? Yes. This is the first. No,
That's a weird name.
like as if it was his real name. Yeah. Anyways, the joke didn't land properly. I just alienated somebody. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Audio for Dummies. Yes, I actually really do like the Blue Spark. It's warmer and richer than the P420. And the P420's got a lot of sparkle. It's got a lot of body on the top, and this has a lot more of a rich. It's a little muddy in the mids, but it actually, like I have the 100 hertz high pass filter on right now, and I still sound nice and rich and creamy, and I really like the sound of this mic. Now, I have noticed a lot of the ads for this thing has it upside down, and I kind of get why, because it's more of it's a small, tiny little capsule on top of, it's got, what do they call these? The baby bottle style?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the bottle or the...
Yeah. And I don't really like it, but I can see how upside down it'd be kind of cool. So actually, I really do like this mic. It really stood up well against a lot that I put it against. The NT1, it held against the NT1, man. And I haven't said
biased. I'm biased because the only mic I've ever had in that sort of bottle, sort of old school grenade style design is the mic that I gave my old boss. That was like that ART M4 fucking monstrosity that was like 20 pounds. Like,
yeah.
Which is unnecessary. The mic was made of ceramic. It was stupid. And like, it never sat on a mic. I'd have to counterbalance it with 10 cables just to stop it from fucking falling.
Get a C stand for your mic.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, literally.
Lollipop mic. There we go. It's a lollipop mic. That's what they're called.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, fucking Vanguard has heads for their pencils that are like that. I really want them.
Oh, nice.
Because they look amazing.
The first one that really got me into the style was one by a company called Violet. Have you seen Violet mics?
No. No, but I like the name.
Yeah, they're all purple, obviously, but they've got a lineup. They will not converse with me. I have not been able to talk to them. Their mics are relatively expensive, enough that I'm not just going to go buy one to review it. And you can't really find the mics other than buying direct. I can't find.
Oh, those look sexy. Oh, dude.
The Violet, right?
Yeah. Oh, damn.
All right.
Like, fuck. I want to get my hands on these things. God damn it. I might have to. Again, I want to hear how they sound first. I'm just going to buy it because it looks cool.
And it's
I'm all about kind of warm vintage looks and like, oh, that's so cool.
Right. And it's hard to find, like, the distributors, they don't have any in Canada that or at least, they don't have any in Canada. They jump right from Brazil to China.
Here's the thing though, like, and this is where I'm going to eat crow a little bit, on, live on air here. Like I shat all over the bee because it looked like shit. And obviously I'm biased because when something looks the way that I like it with my style choices, I'm like, yeah, totally make a mic like that. But when somebody makes one, I'm like, oh, what a horrible company. So I am full of shit.
Yeah.
Which I never denied, but I just want to remind everybody I am full of shit.
Well, look at the prices on these though. Like just the small capsule, the Globe Vintage is 1,600 euros, which is like $2,200. Like it's ridiculous the price on these.
Where are they based? Like, how did you discover this company?
I discovered they popped up on my Facebook about 10 years ago.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're based out of Estonia.
Where that? I don't even know where that is. I feel
Estonia?
bad, but I don't know where that is. Yeah, where's that?
Kind of east of Germany.
Okay, so Europe.
Yeah. They were closer to Russia. Oh my God! There go my dogs again.
It's going nuts. You got another drop off.
Now this one should be the wife. Should be.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
1 second.
They got some really interesting looking mics too. This Violet company. Some of the mics are actually blue.
Yeah.
It looks like. So that's kind of nice.
Well, yeah, but it's like a bluish violet. It's like a bluish violet.
I see. It's like a steel blue kind of.
Yeah.
Feel
free to go to violet-design.com if you want to check them out.
And they have the lollipop style as well. That's kind of neat looking.
I think I might actually like reach out to them again to see like lend me a mic. I don't need them. Like don't send me. I don't need to keep the mic. If you want me to keep it, I'll be happy to.
Dude, look up the finger. Look up the finger. What the fuck is that?
Let me see the garnet.
Look at what the top of that mic looks like.
I like the stereo flamingo.
The finger.
The finger. Yeah.
Fucking weird. What is going on with that?
That's cheap too. 320 euros.
I'm like, look at the top of that. I genuinely don't know like what that satellite dish kind of shit is this.
I don't know,
Holy
man.
Hell.
I'm game for it though.
Yeah, I'm game for it. Like, whoa.
Liberty Dude says meeting people I only know from online is something that kind of makes me want to hide. Yeah, I agree with that. Shrimp says creamy. Yep, was. Next to Russia and Finland, Jan says. Jan's got you covered. Thanks, Jan. By the way, hi, Jan. It's been a while. I think you were. Well, you know what? It just feels like it's been a while because we haven't done a live stream in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And live streams have been kind of back and forth here this year. Beresford, how's she going? Liberty Dude, I got a Violet Flamingo Junior Violet Design JZ mic. Ooh, Liberty Dude.
Coming in.
Liberty, do you have any audio for that? Can you drop any audio for that on the Discord? I would love to hear it. The problem is with mics like that, you really want to like side by side, but what the fuck do you put that side by side with? Yeah. Like this is the P420 and this is the $4,000 Violet Design. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Trying to figure out where the fuck I could even buy one of these if I wanted to, because my distributor doesn't sell anything.
US, there are no distributors in Canada, man.
That's a pain in the ass.
You can buy straight off their website. I'm sure it takes like 4 months to get here, though. Oh,
I'd rather give most of the money to them rather than some American wank.
Well, yeah, but you don't know yet. Like, who the hell knows?
Well, I'm not gonna pull the trigger now. I need to do some research first, but it's good to know that there's an avenue if I would like to purchase them.
Let me try to get a hold of them and see if they'd be interested in like even lending me one. I've always wanted to try because they have that unique lollipop style, right?
Yeah. So did they not like just not respond to you when you reached out, or?
Yeah, it was a while back, and I reached out over Facebook.
Oh, well, see if they have like an email.
Yeah, they do. Sales at violet-design.com. They even have a Skype. You can Skype them.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, what? That's crazy.
Like, cool, I guess. But I mean, if you really want to get the sales in, it hasn't had an update.
If you got 6 months to spare, send it to their PO box.
Yeah, they haven't updated to HTTPS. That is one problem with the website. Obviously, not a secure connection, so I wouldn't purchase off this website, like at all.
And unless they're purchased, like they go through some purchase portal. A lot of vendors do that now, where the vendor that they use to collect the money is an HTTPS site.
Yeah,
I know in Europe that's very common.
I love this shrimp. The sides of your beard remind me of large tusks on a triceratops. You know why that is? Here, let me bring up my OBS here so I can see what I'm doing. So, I actually grow a long beard, and this thing actually goes down to basically mid chest. It's actually quite long. It just curls up. The problem is I grow hair on either side of my chin, and in the middle, you can see this is like short wispy hair. So I've got it grows to about an inch and a half in the middle of my beard, and that's where it stays, and the rest of it keeps growing. So I literally grow hair off the sides, and like some sort of like remember superstar Billy Graham in the WWF.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Um, that's why I've been putting it into a ponytail. The problem is I'm waiting for these sides to catch up. I usually shave these sides right here, right up by my lip because they just stick out and they make my face look big. I'm waiting for them to grow so I can just ponytail the whole thing and it doesn't look stupid.
Nice.
Viking beard. It kind of is. My wife's been bugging me to cut it. She's like on me. She's like, "Why don't you cut your beard today? You could cut it." But I'm refusing. I'm absolutely refusing. I just want to see how long it'll go. I'm literally growing this to see when it stops. And it's one of those things. Here's the thing about having this beard. I stand out in a crowd. If you see me in person, this is why I think the guy from Canadian Tire recognized me, is because if you see this beard, you instantly recognize me because the beard is kind of a telltale sign. I'm just a random bald dude with glasses if I shave the beard. Just a random pudgy bald guy with glasses. That's all I am. However, you put it into a ponytail and it looks somewhat professional. So I don't know. I think I'm willing to put it into a ponytail. I'm willing to grow it nice and long. The beard is iconic. You know what? This could be the logo is just this beard. Get somebody to do like an image of the shape of the beard with maybe like my glasses and my nose and then the beard. No mouth, just glasses, nose, beard. That would look kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I think that would be a good logo. Maybe we'll see. Also, I do have to say we've had up to 25 people on the stream. Thanks, guys, for all the support. Thanks for dropping in. I love it. Other than that, I went through my whole week. Dylan, you were super quiet for the past 2 weeks. What have you been up to? Have you been super busy too?
I mean, yeah, beginning of year is always like everyone's like getting super revved up and getting their heads up their ass really quickly. That's kind of welcome to corporate America, I guess. But like, this week started a bit rough. I had a bad bout of stomach flu, the old viral gastroenteritis. And was, I'll spare you details. I'll spare you details.
I don't need to know. Gastro is going around really big right now, though.
Yeah, got a bit better this week. We're doing a bunch of equipment stuff across the country, sort of figuring out Pro Tools deployments and maybe building a new production studio in another market. So there's lots of stuff going on, trying to get our production studios here the way that we want them to be.
Yeah,
it's a lot of administrative and again managerial shit. A little bit of sound design stuff. Obviously, finally got paid for that jingle that I did like 2 months ago, like today. So that's great.
That is nice. Time. That is nice. By the way, Gear Junkie, cheers, brother. I probably missed you, but have a good one, man, and stay safe as well. Liberty Dude says sides 3 inches longer than braid. I've thought about like just braiding the two sides and like cutting this so it doesn't stick out. I think I would look absolutely ridiculous, or something out of the Satanic Bible, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, so I've been meaning to get a hold of you and like plan for some possible recording time. Yeah, like I recorded with the CO2s just to dick around with that and kind of play with some stereo shit. But then I kind of want to like sit down with you and get some kind of, maybe you and I could get some of the shit rolling, because I'm not struggling. I'm struggling to find the time to sit down and get this shit in line. That's my biggest problem. Is the hardest part about recording is actually getting going. Once you get going and once your bass is done and you're adding instrumentation, you don't.
Oh, that's fun. That's gravy.
That's the easy fucking part. It's the getting going, man. Oh my God. I've got the bass down, like not the bass guitar, but like the bass chords. So I know what to play. So I know all that stuff. But I like sitting down to record it all the way through. I recorded it once, didn't like it. came back.
That's why. Like the second that I get like at least like one of the stem components, like even like an acoustic plugged in DI, there's the roadmap plotted out from start to finish, one thing sort of recorded as a ruler. Like that just getting that done feels like a massive accomplishment because you're like, okay, now it's easy.
Yeah.
Now it's literally just caking shit on top of that.
Yeah. Like I'm putting the cajon into this but that's a secondary. Like that would be like, I'd put that in second just to like cement the rhythm. I just can't find the time. I've got a viola player that's going to come in and record a viola for the song. I've got a bassist coming in to record bass for it. It's just, oh man, like it's, and then whatever you're going to add to it. I don't even want to know like you got any plans of what you might add to it?
I mean, I don't know what it's going to sound like yet. I have to hear what it's going to sound like to know what I'm going to add, but I'm definitely adding a bunch of stuff. I just don't know what yet.
It would be fun with something like a flute. A flute would sound nice.
Yeah, I got a flautist I can pull in.
You have a flautist?
Yeah.
You going to flaunt your flautist?
Flaunt my flautist.
Flaunt your flautist.
Flaunt that flautist.
That's one of those, I know a guy, you're like, oh, your car needs to be fixed up. I know a guy there, bud.
Oh,
don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's the music industry's version of, I know a guy. I know a guy. Yeah.
You know what this song could really use is a flute. I know a guy.
Do you need a cittern player? I got it. I know a guy.
Do you have a cittern player?
Yeah.
No way.
I do. Yeah, his name's Doug.
Doug's a cittern player. Don't you worry there, bud.
His name's Doug, and he's hardcore Scottish. Like a hardcore.
Liberty Dude says you want to add the cowbell. You are welcome to try to make a fucking
cowbell.
Yeah, more cowbell.
More cowbell.
Is this some abstract Canadian humor I'm too American to understand? Yes. I'm mixing in the Canadian accent of the Dave.
Oh yeah, there, bud. Oh, I know a guy there, bud.
Way back 2015. It was just before Donald Trump was elected to office. A lot of Americans were saying we're moving to Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. So I was working on a morning show, and me and my buddy, we did up this welcome to Canada thing, where it's two Canadians saying, welcome to Canada, dear bud. You get your free moose when you come in. His name's Dave. He's a cuddler. And it was like this whole like thing. And I actually did a video, and that video's actually on YouTube if I could only find it. And yeah, it was fantastic. It was a great bit for radio, but that's where the voice comes from there. That Canadian voice.
I know a guy comes from there, bud.
And there's a lot of Canadian euphemisms that we use and things. Am I still on the thing? Yes, I'm still on the thing. Sorry, love. Are you still live streaming?
He's still on the thing.
US version is Fargo speak. Exactly. So Fargo is a very, very, like, we actually get a lot of our accent from Midwestern speak. Like a lot of the Canadian accents kind of filtered up through that area.
Or you can tell because like, oh, Norm, oh, Margie, but yeah, like it's that's such a like Canadian vibe. Like I could have been like, oh, that sounds like, I don't know, it's fucking Northern Saskatchewan, eh? Like,
I don't want a full pizza.
Why not? Give me the other half.
It's Domino's. No offense, Domino's. If you want to sponsor my video, I'll eat a full pizza. But otherwise, no, thank you. Kind of sounds like Minnesota. Fargo.
Minnesota, bud.
Yeah. Minnesota's right beside Fargo, North Dakota.
Minnesota.
So yeah, Fargo and Minnesota have very similar. I grew up in Thunder Bay, which is right above Minnesota. So we used to go to Duluth and St. Paul a lot growing up. And yeah, like a lot of people would look at us and they'd be like, oh my God, you sound like Canadians, eh? And they would add the A for everything. And we're like, yeah, we sound like Canadians. You realize if you guys looked in a mirror though, you guys sound exactly like us. You just don't say A with everything.
Yeah.
Rick on mic. Hi, fellow Soundies. I always join late because of work. I got to enjoy on replay, though. Cheers, brother. Shrimps from Florida and North Carolina. So fairly southern. I love the southern accent. Good friend of my brother's was from Kentucky. And I love how varied the southern accents are. Like a lot of people like, can you do a southern accent? It's not about doing a southern accent. It's like, where do you want it from? Do you want that southern accent from Georgia? Do you want it from Kentucky? Do you want it from Texas or Texas?
Alabama.
But Canada has the same variants of, like, in Alberta, Canada, it's very much blue collar. You bet your body. You come on
Yeah.
down here and you pick that up. Very, very, like, I left Alberta after 6 years and I sounded like a Canadian. And the
Yeah.
problem is
Oh
because
yeah.
a lot of Newfies come to Alberta. So you get a little bit of the Newfoundlandese speak in there too. Which Newfies, if you're unaware, they're kind of like people from Mississippi. Lovely people. You just have no idea what they just said.
Well, it's like, yeah, Mississippi mixed with like drunk Irish. It's
Yeah.
kind of when you get the Newfoundland accent.
Yeah, the Newfie accent's great.
Now Newfoundland is not to be confused with Newfoundland, Saskatchewan. There's Newfoundland, which we call Newfoundland, and then there's Newfoundland. A YouTuber talked about that once, and I was like, oh wow. I was like, I could see how that could be confusing.
Yeah.
Like the way we talk.
Newfoundlander, where's your two, bud?
Yeah, fucking Newfoundland. Yeah.
Southern has several different types of accents and time periods. My dad has it way more than me and my brother, but I do say y'all a lot. And that's the thing. Like, time periods are a big difference. Like 1980s versus 90s versus 2000s, and it's all influenced from other things, right?
Yeah.
And media is the biggest influencer on accents, especially in the U.S.
I think that's why now, like, accents have been sort of the difference between people speaking in different. Like, there was a time when somebody from Kansas could not understand someone from California to save their life, but now, because of social media, because of sort of the interwashing of accents by the internet and by television and everything else, it's narrowed the gap in some of these accents in some of these areas.
Yeah.
Now that everyone's kind of plugged in.
One of my favorite YouTube rabbit holes to jump down is, like, there's some linguists that explain accents and accent control and all that stuff, and it's fascinating. One of the things, and I think I mentioned this on an old live stream, the Canadian accent, when people think we say a boot, we're not actually saying a boot, we say about. But the problem is the American brain hears that and can't associate it with a word. So the American brain actually translates it for you into a boot. So it makes it sound like we're saying a boot all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why Canadians are like, I didn't say a boot. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But it's basically everything's in the brain. It's just the way your brain translates it between your ears. Yeah, it's so cool.
Well, that's like when we approximate like different Asian languages, and our like over drastic approximation is like completely off from what it actually sounds like.
Yeah.
Like when people like make fun of Chinese or something, or like make fun of Mandarin, it's like that you're actually not even close to what that language sounds like. It's kind of like, when, I don't know if you've ever had like Japanese fried chicken. It's pretty much like it's an analogous approximation at what Americans eat. It's so different.
It's so
it's
different.
not even remotely the same, but it's like they're like, oh, this is what you guys do, and we're like, no, but I mean that's still really good.
Beresford says it's similar to Scottish about, and the interesting thing is
oh, what you're talking about.
The interesting thing is how much language interpretation happens in our brain. And how our brain is kind of switching things about so it can recognize words.
Oh, there you go again. A boot, a boot, a boot.
A boot. I just found out that Japan, they don't call Japan. Fascinating. I did not know that either.
It's not the only one. There's some. I recently I feel a country tripped me up because somebody was talking. And I was like, what is the word you keep saying? They're like, oh, it was like, it wasn't France, but it was like, I was like, oh shit, I did not even think of that. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, some names are also like not English. So
yeah.
Carolina Bell's accent makes me weak-kneed. Who the hell is Carolina Bell?
I have no idea.
I need to know now.
Carolina Bell. That's a great name, by the way.
That's Carolina Bell. No, that's a boutique.
I know. I got the same thing.
Carol Bell Images. I don't know who Carol TikTok star? Is that Carolina Bell TikTok star?
I got a boat. I got a lot of pictures of a boat.
I see a TikTok star, so that's probably who it is. I'm gonna have to hear that accent though. My dad thinks oil is a one-syllable word. Oil. Woman from the Carolinas. Women from the Carolinas. Okay, so just random women from Carolinas. Carolina
Nice.
Bell's accent. Accents. Oh, okay, so I didn't
So
see the accents.
I,
Okay.
I saw the same too. I saw singular.
Yeah, and
Uh,
also the apostrophe on
Carolina.
the apostrophe on
I,
Bell's kind of
I,
fucked
I
with me
kind of
too.
like it because it's like I don't know. It's like the marriage between like southern and like Californian or like West Coast. It's almost like a weird like Carolina. You know,
Yeah,
it's got this kind of this low key southern aloofness to it.
yeah. Oh no, and that's good. I like the shrimp says look up Southern Belle accent. I know Southern Belle accents, shrimp. I thought he was referring to specifically somebody by the name of
Just
Carolina
Carolina
Belle
Belle. Yeah.
because of the way it was with Belle apostrophe S.
Yeah, the Southern Belle.
Yeah, it made it look like there was possession of it by a person. Anyways,
Yeah.
no, it's all good, shrimp. Yeah, women from the Carolinas. I don't know if I have an accent that just makes me weak in the knees or something that I enjoy. I don't know. I don't.
I enjoy accents.
Oh,
I mean,
Irish.
not so much make me weak in the knees. I find like there's something very sanitary sounding about like an authentic like Parisian accent.
Th-
Um,
So
like
there's
like not Gatineau French.
no. There's one. Has anyone heard of Beth Roars?
No,
She's
is this a person or is this a
yes.
collection of
Beth
roars people?
Beth Roars is an I believe she's Irish. I believe.
Oh yeah.
Um, she does YouTube, like she's a vocal coach on YouTube. So she like reacts to different singers singing stuff.
I'm gonna listen to her in my headphones right now while we're talking.
Okay, you listen to that. I don't know what it is about her accent, but that's like, yeah. Can you hear it? You're just getting through the commercial.
It's a song. So it's not. There we go. This one's not.
All right. Let's see. Dylan reacting to the woman reacting. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. You see it. I know that face. I know that face. You're not willing to say anything because your girlfriend's probably home.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's not. That's not Irish. That's Scottish.
What is that Scottish?
That's very like low key, like Scottish English. It's like I don't know, like almost Edinburgh. Actually, no, that might be a little bit more of like a urban Glasgow or something like that.
I thought
it's
it was
very articulate. Like it's as
yeah.
oh, what you doing, lads? Oh,
No, but
like it's not.
Northern Irish. Northern Irish is a lot more articulated.
Yeah,
It's
but
not-
no, this is definitely Scottish.
Okay.
It's just where in Scotland.
Shrimp's all into the Aussies and aggressively Irish or Scottish.
No,
Aggressive.
and I do like a Scottish. I haven't heard Scottish on that many in like especially female Scottish accents. I haven't
Yeah.
heard that many women.
Oh, because you
Scottish
got
women.
that great old big man. But yeah,
Well,
I just
usually,
imagine
yeah.
I just imagine like Shrimp, like he's like can't understand what you're saying, but I just want you now.
Weak in the knees.
Aggressively Irish or Scottish. I love that. Valley Girl accent turns me into a Buddhist monk. Yeah, Valley Girl's pretty bad. We actually, in Ottawa, we actually have our own Valley Girls. Ottawa, Canada, we actually have Valley Girls that come out of what we call Ottawa Valley. And it's a very different Valley Girl sound than it is here. So I'm just going to leave it at that in case there's any Valley Girls in the chat right now. But that said, my wife's bugging me. So I think I've got to go.
You gotta hop off.
I appreciate y'all. Once again, big thanks to TechMed. Cheers for the 10, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully you guys have a great week. I do have a video for the Spark coming out on Monday. What do you guys think, by the way? Let me know in the chat there. Do you like the... Definitely Scottish, but not full Scottish. Yeah, exactly. I like how
it's Scottish on a diet.
Yeah, I like how everyone else is like, Beth Roars, who's that? She's gonna get like 100 different subs and go like, what the hell, guys? No, she's awesome though. By the way, she's a great vocal coach. Check her out. Anyways, have yourself a great week, and we'll see you next week, guys. Cheers.
Got a gang.